What's going on, people? Hope everyone's good. So I want to talk to you about NoFap. So I'm currently doing my streak at the moment. I'm still going. I joined a group on Facebook, like a support group about it, but I have noticed in that group that there's quite a few people that are just acting negatively and going about it the wrong way. Like when people slip up and that and they relapse, they're kind of at them in the comments, and it's just not helpful the way they were doing it. Now that's not the majority of the group, but it is a few select people every time, and for me they don't have a place in this because they're just being judgmental. And I think for us to grow and get better at it and improve ourselves, it's not helping when there's people like that are just judgmental and negative, because I can guarantee you that they mess up and slip up, but they act like they don't. But I guarantee you they do, and it just doesn't help, as I said. So my advice is, if you're doing this NoFap, try and find people that are understanding of it and that are realistic and that are not judgmental like that. Obviously sometimes you need motivation and that, which is fine, but there's a certain way you do it and go about it. And as I said, in this group I found a few people that go about it the wrong way, but on the whole it is a good group, supportive, and a lot of advice and encouragement and stuff goes on in there. But just be careful with it. It's like anything in life, you're going to get some bad apples in the bunch, and just got to be aware of it. And especially if it keeps reoccurring with the same sort of people, then you know that they shouldn't be there. Do you know what I mean? And for whatever reason they are, but you just got to try and, whatever they say, just brush it off, because you know that that's not helpful, and they act like they're perfect and they're not, because perfection is not a thing. Do you know what I mean? We can always practice and get better at something, but none of us are perfect. Don't care who you are, none of us are perfect. That goes for everyone. I have noticed with this NoFap so far that I've got a ton of energy. Even if I do workouts and stuff, I might be fatigued for a little bit, but like at night, I've never been a great sleeper anyway, but at night I've really noticed I feel like I'm on like some sort of drug, and I don't even do drugs, but I've got that extra buzz that it's hard for me to switch off at night. It's like this, I feel like I've got an extra battery like installed in me since I've been doing this. I'm still getting urges now and again. Some days are harder than others, but that's to be expected and is natural. But some days are tough. It's the nights that are the toughest, because that's when I used to do it a lot. But here's the thing as well. I've noticed when people slip up, these same sort of people that I was mentioning a minute ago in the groups, they get on them real hard and real tough, like they're, do you know what I mean? Some sort of, it's acting like a cult. And I've noticed that with NoFap, even on YouTube and stuff. It gets treated like a religion sometimes, and that's what it doesn't need to be. We've already got religions and other things where people blurt out of context and are not supportive and just goes over the top. I mean, it's fine to be passionate about things, but certain people treat it like a religion, and religion already causes division and negativity for something that's meant to help you and be spiritual. A lot of it is money making, and a lot of it is just negativity. So just be aware that it's going to be people that really go over the top with it and treat it like a religion, and that's not what is going to be helpful. So we don't need that. It's just being aware of it, and then you can avoid them people. And that's why I say it's important to find the right people to be your mentor, and you will. You just got to be aware of the ones out there that you don't feel right about, because trust your gut on them people. Just if you're on your journey yourself, just do your best. Also, what I wanted to say, it sort of ties into what I was just speaking about, is what I said earlier about none of us are perfect. People are like, I've seen people in a group and that, which it's fine to have these goals and that, because that's what's going to push us forward and drive us forward. But when you word things, your words are powerful. So how you word things say on of how things can go for you. So like, your words can really influence what happens with your actions. So what I'm saying is, when, like in the group, I've seen people say like, I've just started my NoFap journey, or I've got to this day, I've just relapsed, now I'm back on day one, I'm never going to do it again. Don't word things like that, because when you say things like that, there's a huge amount of pressure on you from the get-go again. Now, we need pressure to get the best out of us as well. I understand that. But when you say you're never going to do something again, you're setting yourself up for failure. So it's to get better at something, but not perfection. That's what you need to aim for, because perfection is not realistic. No one's perfect, as I said. You can practice as many things as you want. You're still going to miss shots. Do you know what I mean? So when you say, I'm never going to do something again, that's the wrong mentality. That's the wrong game plan. Because we all have slip-ups. And also, when you have these slip-ups, guys, don't beat yourself up about it. Just get back on the horse and go again. This is meant to be a lifestyle. I see a lot of people saying NoFap is a lifestyle, so stop counting the days and that, which I understand. But you're going to slip up at some point. I don't care who you are. So maybe there are a select few that never go back to it, and that's great. But for the majority of people, that's not realistic. And when they do slip up, they're going to think, oh, I'm never going to get to the point or the place I want to be. They will. But you just got to keep getting back up and getting back on the horse and stop beating yourself up. Some people, when they relapse in that, they feel like they're going to kill themselves. And there's a lot of stuff to do with this NoFap, like the dopamine levels and the receptors in your brain chemistry, and I understand that. But when you're doing these other self-development things and growth, and you get more clarity, and when you're working on other things and not just NoFap, even when you have slip-ups, you're going to realise that it's not the end of the world. It's going to make you feel down for a little while, and that's great if it does, because that's going to motivate you to get back up. But it's when you stay there in that place and feel sorry for yourself, coming back to that victim mentality that I've spoke about a lot of times before. When you're in that state of thinking, you might as well throw the towel in, because you're never going to get yourself up out of that hole. And you have to. So, guys, when you slip up, because you will slip up, I'm not trying to demotivate you or get at you or make you depressed or not believe in yourself. I'm just saying, things happen in life. So when they do, it's how you bounce back, it's how you respond to them things. Nobody's perfect, so just keep working on trying to get better. And also, a lot of people push this thing with NoFap that only save your seed and your semen for when you want to have a kid and reproduce, or find a woman to have sex with. But there's many factors that play into that. If you're going to have sex with a girl, whether it's your partner or someone you want to be your partner going forward, make sure her energy is right, or his energy is right. Because if you're going on a spiritual development path of your own self-improvement, and you're working on yourself, and you find a partner that isn't, that's dangerous chemicals to mix together just by sexual intercourse, because your emotions and your chemicals in your body, they're going to react with each other like a science experiment. And when you're on a positive path and they're on a negative, that's not going to end up well. You don't want them to drag you down. So you need to find someone that's got the same sort of goals in mind as you, is on the same as someone else that's on a personal development path and working on themselves like you are. Because then when you get into them, the sex or the love making, whatever you want to call it, it's not going to bring you down. It's not going to pull you down like some sort of force of like a magnet of negative energy. And also, people claim when they're on a NoFap that it's about people's goals, they want to get married and stuff. Marriage isn't everything, guys. We're sold this lie in society that you have to be with someone to fit in, and that's what the ultimate goal is. I'm telling you now, it's fine to be happy by yourself, and you can be happy by yourself. It's more beneficial for you to be happy on your own. I've said it before, if you're not working on yourself and learning to love yourself, how are you going to love someone else before you love yourself? It's not possible. That's why there's so many relationships breaking down. I've gone through it. I'm not with my partner anymore. We've got 4 kids. But I'm happier now. You know what I mean? We're civil with each other, but we kept trying to make it work and it wasn't working. So we were lying to each other and ourselves because we were trying to make it work. And at a certain point you have to come to realisation, we got to do what's best for me and you individually, and as parents, and for the kids. A lot of people stay together because they're scared of breaking up the family unit because they got kids. But let me ask you this. If you stay together and you're arguing and it never gets better, and it continues to get worse as well, more arguments more frequently, the kids are witnessing the arguments, domestic violence in the household, your kids getting involved and getting abused, how does that help your kids rather than if you were to split up? Even if you both go and get other partners, if it works out better for the kids and it's a healthier environment, you got to let go of your egos. You got to want what's best for your kids. What are they witnessing? What are they around? What is their environment? It's important, man. So don't fall into the trap that you need to get married, you need to be with someone to be happy. It's bullshit. It's set up for this. It's set up this way to trick you into you thinking you need to do that, because they know a lot of people struggle to do that. But if you can realise that you can be happy on your own, you've won the game. Life is a game. You've got to play it. You've got to play this game. That's why it's important to work on yourself and learn to love yourself and go on this self-development, self-improvement path. Because when people start falling apart, and with this lockdown and everything, and people are going to start breaking up and that, and then they're going to be tortured when they break up because they don't know how to live their life without a partner. They don't know how to live their life without a group of friends, or because they don't do the inner work, because they don't work on themselves. They don't appreciate being on their own. They don't appreciate that they can live life on their own and be happy. That's why it's important to do it, man. Anyway, I want to leave you today on that one, guys. Hope you have a good day. Hope this one helps. Speak to you soon.